200%, going from 92 deals a year to 150, from 140 to 270. We're growing because they're doing the right things. They're not listening to all the negativity. They're focusing on the right things. So for me, it was just a tremendous privilege to be there. And again, I can't thank everyone enough for inviting me, for helping me be a part of that. There's just a lot I could go on and on, but that's the generation.
This is Amelia's second. Thank you, Mark. One of the things Mark said yesterday when we had our post-mega camp meeting was, the one thing I regret is that I didn't sign up with you guys earlier. So he definitely saw value in going to a mega camp event. Amelia, this is your second year attending mega camp, and one of the things you mentioned yesterday was you didn't have as many ahas, but your foundation went a lot deeper. So explain to us what that means.
Well, first of all, I've started off in this industry almost 7 years ago, and recent 3 years in sales in particular. I've been with Keller since June 2011, and this was my second time I attended an agent camp. As a matter of fact, this time around, I got fewer ahas, but they were so much fundamental, so fundamental and deeper than what I was actually expecting. One of the biggest ahas was in the environment of all these successful top producers, and witnessing their success and humility, I realized and understood and learned the lesson how to make it universal in your business, how to concentrate on the one thing Mr. Gary Keller was talking about. And this one thing is lead generation for agents. So are these, regional directors, OPs, team leaders, agents do have that one thing they have to concentrate on. And for me, for an agent is to generate. The second biggest aha for me was I came to a realization that I need to get more familiar with personality types. In order for me to take my business to the next level, my immediate goal is to participate in a Recruit Select program, and to get familiar with types of people, to be able to learn and to differentiate, to pick the right talents, to pick the assistant, first of all, who will take some of the tasks, and so I can learn how to delegate, basically, to concentrate on the one thing that is listing generation.
Thank you, Amelia. Amelia also stayed for the leadership portion of it, and she definitely enjoyed John Maxwell. Ami Bautista, one of the things Ami said yesterday was, I've been in the business for over 30 years. I thought I'd seen it all, heard it all, but apparently when she went to Mega Camp, she had a different mindset coming back. Let's hear it from Ami.
Thank you. I have been with Keller Williams for almost 4 years, and I wish, I have confronted Mike about this. And I wish he would force me to go to one of his mega camp, because I thought I know it all. And it's, as he said, it's very humbling to be there. I've been in business for over 30 years, and when I went there, I came to realize that my ideas were so antiquated. I have to open up my mind to new ideas, because real estate is always evolving. And there's always winners and losers in every market. And to be able to be on the winner's side, we have to open our mind to new ideas. And the only way to do that is to go into this conventions and stuff. This is a different convention for me, because I have been to a lot of seminars. And this is so different, and no other company has it. And I want you to be very proud that you are with Keller Williams, because they have this, and this is available to you. And I think every agent, I wish I had this when I was younger. And every agent who's, who wants to plan their business, this should be, this is indispensable. And I think this company should make it mandatory mandatory. Mandatory for every agent to go here because it blew my mind. It just blew me away. I mean, I didn't. We were talking to these agents who are so innovative. They are innovators, and they think so out of the box. I mean, they're making 900 units a year. It just expands your mind and just makes you think, my goodness, this is possible, And so I urge you to go next time. It's too bad that it's not until next year, but please plan to do it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ami. I have news for you. Your career is like a wrestling group agreement. It can be extended. Right on. So you have an extension on your career.
Thank you, Ami.
The
And
best is yet to come.
yesterday when we met, one of the biggest themes within the Mega Camp group was they unanimously were talking about expanding their mind. They were talking about it stretches your mind, and you look at these panelists and say, I can actually be up there. That can be me. So we've heard Keith Sorum really testify for these Keller Williams events, mainly Mega Camp. He said last year when he went, he saw a tremendous increase in his business. We want to hear about what you've done after an implementation, coaching I heard that you started up, and just tell us.
Well, I would say the biggest question that everybody wants to know is, well, how does that apply to me? Because you all haven't been to Mega Camp, so it's like trying to give somebody a haircut on the phone. It's impossible. The only way you can really experience it is to go, and family reunion's actually coming up. I would say that for me, one of the things I did after family reunion was I decided to get involved in a Dominate Your Market. It's a MAPS coaching program. It's very economical, but it's basically one call a week. We have some accountability because I realized I needed accountability. The other thing I realized last year at Mega Camp was that my own mind, my limiting beliefs, were the only thing stopping me from expanding my business. So a lot of the last day of Mega Camp was focused on what they call leverage. And you heard Mark talk about a lady that took her business from 90 units to almost 200. And that's between Mega Camp this year and previous year and Mega Camp this year. And what I would like to encourage everybody to realize is that it's not about me. And it's not about us, it's about you. What are you going to do with your business? And to realize that when Gary was doing a sum up, he said, I want you to think big. I want you to think not how I can generate another 1 lead a day or 2 leads a day, but 500 in a month. And to do that, you're going to need other people to help you. But I want to encourage you to realize that if we don't come up with it, wouldn't it be a shame to be at the end of our life looking back on, gee whiz, I wish I'd done more. And you're right, when we're confronted with at least, I think, 15 panels of people all doing huge business. There's one gentleman, his business model is he took care of finding housing for 21% of the NFL draft this year. So there are things that we could go into, and I think we can talk about that more later, but to say, you should go to family reunion and Mega Camp. It's worth it.
Let me add that to that. Expanding the mind. It really is. Gary Keller in the Red Book, as you know, said to earn $1 million, you have to first think of it. That's where it starts, And if you can't, and the way I've been to so many Mega Camps, the way I felt when I went there is as if somebody outside of me was stretching my mind. Each of you has a lot of talent in it, but when you see it, let me give you an example. This gentleman here in Tucson, Arizona, has a team, very successful, doing a ton of business. He's developing a team in Bellevue, Washington. Just imagine having the guts, the skills. When you hear that, the possibilities are endless, right? So that's why when they say expanding your mind, you see so many possibilities, like Ami was saying, that you almost instinctively do it without even doubting yourself because you've seen it being done already. Does it make sense? If you think you can't afford to go, actually you can afford to. You can't afford not to go to Mega Camp. If there's one thing you can do for yourself, okay, we all take care of our cars. I bet you your career is more important than a car, right? You would invest in your car, right? So, Ami, I'm putting the pressure. How am I doing? I got 12 months to go. So,
The only thing I want to add talking about it in the meeting yesterday. It's really, your income will never, ever exceed the size of your mind and your thoughts. And these things, you heard it several times, expand your vision, expand your mind, see possibilities that you never thought were possible. And what it does to your head is just amazing. The problem with it is it's irreversible. Because once it's been stretched out, you know, you're not satisfied with where you're at. The biggest thing I got was, what's your one thing? You know, and it was just through the whole week was about lead generation, right? We've got our triangle of leads, listings, leads, and leverage, right? And you got to think, so when we talk about $1 million, we're studying the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. When we talk about $1 million, we're not talking about necessarily just $1 million, right? We're talking about a lifestyle, a lifeset, a success. We're talking whatever that means for you, okay? You got to think that way first before you can earn it, right? And then you got to earn it before you can keep it, okay? So what Gary Keller said that was powerful is this: if you don't think big when it comes to leads and lead generating, thinking big everywhere else will just frustrate you. Does that make sense? If you don't think big there, everything else will frustrate you. You won't be able to do it. Right? That's the engine that drives your business. Susan.
I have a question. When the mega camp panelists, what was the biggest, or most of them were doing as far as lead generation? What was that working for them? Can you guys share that? Was it the calls? Was it door knocking? Was it advertising?
Can I add to that? Because you go
Okay,
there.
question.
The one thing I took away, thank you for saying about the one thing. You know, somebody asked me the question when I was there. Says, what did you get from all these days? You know, one of the agents asked me there. I said, very easy. I don't know what everybody does, but whatever they do, they repeat it. All day long. All day long. We had people that were savvy in technology. We had people that were doing REOs, short sales, door knocking, cold calling. We had an older couple that was selling almost 1,000 units. You know, they have a book, it's called Clients First. The most non-dynamic looking couple doing 1,000 units almost, right? I mean, you know, Gary Keller says, you know, you don't look, what do you call it?
You don't look like the most dynamic.
He says, you don't look the most dynamic, how do you do it? Gary Keller says so. So it's the one thing, and Gary Keller, he's got a book coming out in February, it's called The One Thing, and he talked a lot about that. He says, what is it that you can, what is the one thing that you can do that will take care of everything else that's important and will make everything else be unnecessary? You know? And I know from my experience, when I'm lead generating at a high level, when I cold call, I'm making appointments and so on, all other problems seem to disappear, right? So it's repetition. You want to add anything to that?
Well, we do have an availability of your group over here met yesterday, and they were so fired up about bringing back information to you and sharing what they've learned that they have set up a class this Thursday at 4 o'clock in our Glendale training room, and we have a sign-up going around now, 2 of them. What they're going to do is have a 1-hour Q&A session, but it's not going to stop there because they were so fired up that they decided that they were going to create a small accountability group. So what they're going to do is set up a day and a time, and they're going to meet, and whatever goals that they have, they want to make sure that they implement, but they're opening it up to whoever wants to join them. So as we pass these sign-up sheets around, indicate whether you're going to attend the class Thursday at 4, it's this Thursday, and then next to it, just put a note that you're interested in being in the accountability session, and we'll include you in the email loops that are going around. But let's just give them a big round of applause.